T-shirt. I did one year. I had to buy that online. I still got it in my closet. I had to dress up as Charlie Brown because Richard Dixon wrote some radio play that we had to do, which was essentially us getting on stage and we like read the play. It was like for audio purposes, but we did it in front of an audience so we could have like laughter and whatever emotions. And I had to be Charlie Brown.
Man.
I know. I don't want to be Charlie Brown. I don't want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
That's why when he told me, I'm like, come on, dude, don't make me be Charlie Brown. It was just.
You should wear that shirt.
I guess I could. But no, I'm not wearing that shirt. Not going to do it. As I was mentioning before the break. Oh, and by the way, text us. Let us know if you're coming by texting the text line, 205-545-9950. Say, I'll be there or I won't be there, and that kind of, makes me feel better about the whole thing. The Seditious Six. So apparently, the 6 jabronis that made a video talking about don't give up the ship and telling members of the military to defy illegal orders from the president without defining what those illegal orders are, leaving it up to interpretation to whoever, essentially saying to the military, if you feel like the orders are illegal, just ignore them. Those 6 individuals are now facing massive money laundering allegations. And here's how. It first needs to be stated that current thinking about massive money laundering involving Act Blue is that identities of Smurfs, this is what they call them. They call them Smurfs, have been hijacked and that the actual persons have no awareness of the illegal use of their identities. Like interviews by James O'Keefe, Charlie LaDuff, and Bob Crushman have shown the lack of awareness of these victims of the identity theft in a very informative news discussion between Pulitzer Prize journalist Charlie LaDuff in a No BS News Hour, episode 395, blah, blah, blah. Campaign strategist Jason Rowe. It was stated that Act Blue has allegedly received over $16 billion since 2004. $16 billion. It was also revealed that several senior members of Act Blue have abruptly resigned since allegations of fraud have come forward and several federal investigations have begun this year. Because remember, Donald Trump came out and talked about this. He said, there's something going on with Act Blue and we need to get to the bottom of it. Jason Rowe stated that people working within political campaigns for many years have been aware of the money laundering that was enabled by Act Blue and that Charlie LaDuff had, within the first few minutes of that episode, done a far better job explaining how Act Blue had laundered money than any mainstream media outlet ever have. Jason Rowe further states that this activity is fraud, this activity is money laundering, this activity is funneling money from outside the U.S., that Republicans are now outraising Democrats for the first time in a decade because Act Blue is on the radar. This is not just about somebody with a lot of money trying to find an avenue to get it to Democrats. This is money skirting the system and skirting campaign finance laws in order to get into the coffers of Democrats and Democrats-only campaigns. That's it. It's only going to Democrats, and nobody's got a clue where it's coming from. Could be coming from overseas, could be coming from other countries, could be coming from your tax dollars, which is a likely scenario as well, since we know about FTX, cryptocurrency, and Ukraine, and the big circular motion that was happening there, where the Democrats would send money to Ukraine, Ukraine would send money to FTX, so they could invest it in cryptocurrency, because nothing says help us with our war like investing in cryptocurrency. And then the cryptocurrency guy would get the money and then turn around and send money to the Democrats. So we know Democrats have been funding their campaign with taxpayer money. But with these 6 individuals, these are 6 of many throughout the Democrat. I mean, almost everybody in the Democrat Party on the national stage has been touched by this money laundering. But with these 6 individuals only, if I look at just, let's say, Mark Kelly's Smurfs, a Smurf is an individual that is having their name and their information used for someone else to donate money. And the Smurf themselves have no idea that their identity is being used. No, they got no clue. Because, hey, it's just donating money. It's not going to affect them in any way. It's not money coming out of their pocket. They're not having to send money. They're not losing money whatsoever. It's just somebody snatched up their name and started donating under their name. That's the Smurf. And for Mark Kelly in particular, I'm just going to go through the list of some of the individuals here and tell you who's getting what. Okay? For Mark Kelly, he got a donation. He got donations from a guy named David Hutton in Paso Robles, California. David Hutton. David Hutton is 71 years old. David Hutton's average donation to Act Blue for Mark Kelly was $24.51. It was a very odd number to donate, but he decided he wanted to donate $24.51. He donated that exact amount. Well, not that exact. That was the average donation. So around $24. He donated that to Mark Kelly over 14,000 times, totaling $344,339. David Hutton of California, 71 years old, sent over 14,000 donations to Mark Kelly in one way, shape, or form. 14,000. Imagine how long it'd take you to go to Act Blue's website and enter in 14,047 separate donations. Then you got Daphne Sanderson. She's from Cape May, New Jersey. Her average donation, well, her age, first of all, 72 years old. Daphne's 72, okay? Her average donation was $12.79. She sent Mark Kelly 1,878 separate donations, totaling over $24,000. Another guy, William Hardy, out of Stratham, New Hampshire, 69 years old. Average donation, $46.65. How many times did he donate to Mark Kelly? Well, he donated 3,189 times, totaling $148,768. Robert DeGrassi out of Bethesda, Maryland, 71 years old. Average of $52.30 per donation. He sent over 1,500 of them, totaling almost $79,000. Oh, here's a real good one. How about this one? How about Mary Gibbons out of California? Mary Gibbons is 93 years old. Her average donation to Mark Kelly was $66.08. She donated 5,660 times, an impressive feat for a 93-year-old, totaling $374,020. Here's a 91-year-old, Sarah Ann Kramarski out of New York City, New York. She's 91 years old. Her average donation was $91.63, maybe an homage to her age. She donated 1,478 times for a total of $135,000. And they got to do it in these little blocks because you can only donate so much. You know what I'm saying? You can't just donate a lot at one time. If you're 92 years old and you're like, oh my God, what do I do with all this money? Do I donate it to, do I leave it for my children or for my grandchildren or set up a college? No, I think I'll send it to Mark Kelly. It's crazy. Looking through here, let me just read the ages for you because they're all very similar. I mean, here's totals from people 359,000. Oh, here's a good one. Let's go with Michael Berger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's 65 years old. His average donation to Mark Kelly was $53.65. Guess how many donations he sent? 24,680. So Michael Berger sent to Mark Kelly $1,324,205. F them kids. I mean, does nobody look at this and say, "Wait, this is a problem"? And then you look at the other the other campaign documents, the finance documents. If you go through the 6 individuals that made that video, the first ones I read you, David Hutton, sent donations to all 6 of those individuals. Daphne Sanderson sent donations to 5 of the 6. William Hardy sent donations to 2 of them. Robert DeGrassi sent donations to 4 of the 6. The 91-year-old Sarah Ann Kromaski, who sent $135,000, she sent to 3 of the 6. It's like, what? Are you crazy? This is a big-time scam. It's maybe one of the biggest financial scams that's ever been committed on the United States of America and its taxpayers. And it needs to come to a crashing halt. Here's the thing. You know how I feel. I'd love to see the Democrat Party dismantled. I'd love to see the Democrat Party destroyed before it gets it's already too radical, before it gets out of control. And the best way to do it is to take down these donations. Christina said AJ says he's just going to be playing music, no traditional DJ stuff. So don't get your expectations out of whack. That's what I'm trying to say. Isn't that crazy though? I'm talking about like Sarah. Let's see. Let's go. Michael Berger. Did I tell you about Michael Berger out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? Yeah, I talked about him. Let me see some other high rollers here. Here's one. This is Richard Busey out of Santa Rosa, California. He's 76 years old. His average payment was $115.05. He sent 4,213 donations, totaling $484,686. Is that the crazy? So, anyway, I mean, I say all that to say this, that the seditious six may be in trouble if anybody wants to look into that. That's a lot of money. And let's see, where am I looking at? What is this one here? It says David Hutton is shown to have contributed to all members of the seditious six. Okay, that's his individual one. After sorting by donation amount, it was observed that over 80 donations were $2 or less, which simply doesn't track with what any real donor would do. Yeah, David Hutton, let me just read some of the individual campaign contributions he made. There's 75 cents, 76 cents, $1, $1, $1, $1. And the dates, he sent, let's see, between, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In 2023, between September 9th and September 14th, he sent 14 $1 donations. $1. I mean, I got the whole spreadsheet of these individuals. This is wild. Kelly Houlihan getting donations of $5.54, $7.92, $15.83. Couple of those. Couple of $7.92. Another $5.54. 4 of them that are $15.83. And this is all from one individual, William Hardy. Come on. If that's not computer generated, I don't know what is. Where is that money coming from? Americans deserve to know. That's a lot of money, baby. A lot of money. Let me go to the phone lines. 205-545-9950, 545-9950. First, Underdog Fantasy. UnderdogFantasy.com. The Underdog Fantasy app. Make sure you use my promo code HeyNow, all one word. Hey now, and score some bonus entries. That's right. You get like $100 worth of bonus entries if you use that promo code. Hey now, hey now, hey now. Why wouldn't you want to use Hey Now as a promo code? Isn't that cool? So, football tonight, tomorrow, all throughout the weekend. Win yourself some money, make some picks, decide if players are going to go higher or lower on certain stats. Get your entries right, win some money, win up to 5,000 times your cash, play with as little as $1. Download the app today and sign up with the promo code Hey Now to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Hey Now. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Keith is up. What's up, Keith? Right. All right, bud. I appreciate it, Keith. Yeah, that's the thing about that is, only donations over $200 to federal candidates or committees are required to disclose publicly by the FEC. The Act Blue aggregates these, but individual small dollar donors, anything less than $200, are typically anonymized and not searchable by name in Act Blue or any PAC's database. Now, there's probably some workarounds for the most part, but usually it's got to take some sort of legal action to get lists such as this. But when you hear that the general public can't search for names and matching donations under $200, it starts to make sense to you as to why these donations are so small and so many. Because when your average donation is, let me find my list again. When your average donation is $24, $12, $46, $52, $66, that keeps it under the $200 donation. So they can keep it more secret. They can't keep it completely secret, obviously, because this stuff gets out when people start investigating. But the Trump administration can absolutely get their hands on this. The Federal Election Commission absolutely has this info. And so this has been going on for a long time, and really it started gaining popularity. This theory about Act Blue funneling money, laundering money, should I say, began with James O'Keefe. And I don't remember, I think he was still with Project Veritas at the time. And what they did is they got these lists through lawsuits and started going to the homes of these individuals. The homes of these elderly people, knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, I'm with so-and-so. We see that you donated to Act Blue 22 times, 24,000 times. I'm sorry. Let me start over. We saw that you donated 14,000 times for a total of $344,000. Did you actually donate that?" And they're like, "Well, no, I'm on a fixed income. I'm on Social Security. I ain't got that kind of money. Let me go check my credit card statement." And then none of them lost a dollar. None of these people ended up having any money withdrawn from their accounts. It's just their names being used. It's much like we live in this day and age of companies selling your data, right? that whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, like we've all kind of just found ourselves in this place of society as, it's going to happen anyway. Let them get my data. They're going to end up using it to target certain ads towards me and everything else. It's why it feels like, Facebook's listening to you through your phone because they are. But in that, that's one thing using that it's still wrong for them to use your data, but for them to use it to target ads for you, which has probably generated billions and billions and billions of dollars for businesses across the board. Because I don't know about y'all, but how many times have y'all been scrolling, you see something, some kind of ad or video pop up, and you're like, man, that's right up my alley. And then you turn around and you buy it off TikTok Shop or whatever, and it comes in this little Chinese package. Chinese, right? No, yeah. Okay, maybe that's just me. But still, it's kind of the same concept, but the difference is we don't know with Act Blue how they're getting these names. They could just be generally fishing for names, or they could be buying lists from individuals. In a lot of cases that I saw with James O'Keefe's investigative report, is that some of these individuals, if not most of them, had donated to Act Blue before. And so when asked, have you ever, you didn't donate $300,000, have you ever donated to Act Blue? And they're like, yeah, 5 years ago, I sent them $5 to, save the panda bears. And they're like, okay, so just $5. That's all you've ever done? Yeah, that's all I've ever donated. I don't have the money to send anymore. I wish I did. So you're sure you didn't send $344,000 over the course of 6 months? I'm sure. And so in the likely scenario, what they're doing is they're taking previous donors, people that are aged 70 to 100 years old, that aren't ever going to notice this or are not going to file a lawsuit to see if their names are on the donor list. In some cases, they don't even care because they donated to Act Blue because they're a Democrat, and they're like, hey, if you want to use my name to funnel money, that's fine. And so the cycle goes on and on and on. And Act Blue's been doing that for years. As I've said, you kind of sit back and ask yourself during campaign season, how in the hell do these Democrats raise so much money? They're not likable people. They're not personable. They're not business savvy. And they're, for the most part, supporters are broke outside of Hollywood. How do they get all this money? Well, there it is. That's how some random candidate in Arizona running for Senate or running for governor can get millions of dollars in contributions. Because the supporters ain't sending it. It's very simple. And it is so vital. This is actually second on my list. When I look at what's important for the Trump administration to tackle, top of the list is elections. I will never get over the 2020 election. I will never let it go. We look at the position we're in, and we're kind of grateful that it kind of played out this way, that Trump had 4 years to kind of figure things out to make sure he could get it right this second time. But I'm still not letting that slide. I'm not letting the election slide. I'm not letting January 6th slide. I'm not letting Ashley Babbitt slide. I'm not letting this pipe bomber slide. You got to send a message. That's number one on my list. Number two on my list is Act Blue. This could dismantle the Democrat Party at its core. This could bring the whole house of cards down if this gets exposed. And as you start snooping around, you'll know you're headed in the right direction because the rats start jumping off the ship. It's already been happening at Act Blue. Higher-ups have been resigning. They're like, ooh, I'll get out of here because ish is about to hit the fan. Exposing that would bring the Democrat Party to its knees. And I mean, in a matter of days, bring it to its knees. Because if you ain't got the money, you ain't got nothing. Find out where the money comes from. Is it taxpayer money? Is it foreign money? Is it George Soros? Where's it coming from? It's not coming from a 92-year-old grandma in Sacramento. Who's it coming from? That's the only question you need to worry about answering. Where does that money come from? And if you get the answer to that, you'll figure out the whole thing. You'll crack the whole case. Wide open. 205-545-9950. Quick break. More of the line coming up right after this. 205 545 9950. Alabama Men's Clinic. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. Low T, guys. Low T, low T. The weekend's here, and your wife may try to get frisky with you. And if that's the case, you got to be ready. Got to be able to rise to the occasion. And you can't do that if you got a low T. You're going to have problems getting the job done. Or maybe you're having problems getting the job done too early. That could be low T as well. Alabama Men's Clinic fixes all that. Hair loss, weight gain, whatever you got going on. It may be internal, dealing with your testosterone. Let Alabama Men's Clinic fix that. Set an appointment. Go ahead and go to the website or call them. Set something up for next week. 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. And online, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. So, just the basis of the seditious six, right? What was their whole thing again? It was that the military needs to defy illegal orders. What are the illegal orders? Who knows? Could be anything. Whatever you think an illegal order is, you just go ahead and defy the commander-in-chief. But yet, the military is not taking that advice, thank God. They're out there doing work to keep the country safe. And even when they get put in harm's way themselves, the point gets proven as to why they're out there. And other points get proven, such as, certain societies are just not going to mix with the American society. Certain cultures are just not going to mix. You think about the D.C. National Guard shooting with one dead, another one seriously, critically wounded. Do y'all know what the shooter said before he started or while he was shooting the National Guard members? You ready? Here's a drum roll. Allahu Akbar. That's right. Allahu Akbar is what he was screaming while he was shooting at our men and women in uniform. Some cultures just ain't going to mix. It's not going to work. But hey, Democrats, they like to stick up for the bad guys. That's the thing. And it's undeniable at this point. I mean, there's example after example, and it's almost like it's poetically come together to where the Democrats have just, in their pursuit to stop Trump at every turn, he is putting them in the position where they have to defend the bad guys in every given situation. Every headline, every story that we talk about, Democrats are forced to side with the bad guys. Because if there's two options, if there's Trump and then there's the bad guy, the Democrats have to say, all right, which side are we taking? Well, we can't take Trump's side. Let's take the bad guy's side. Watching these idiots on TV talking about the narco terrorists. One after another, after another, after another. Start with Jack Reed. Jack Reed, he's a Democrat representative. He claims that drug smugglers bringing illegal narcotics to the U.S. are not really narco terrorists. They're just guys trying to make some money. They're just trying to make a little money. Listen, guys, Christmas is coming up, and how am I going to get the kids toys without selling some fentanyl? Come on. Got to kill a few Americans in order to provide a good Christmas for the kids. Sunny Hostin, no different. She says, hey, if we blow up one of these boats and there's not, well, actually, she says we shouldn't be blowing up these boats. We should be nicely pulling up beside them, taking them into custody and giving them refuge. And then you're supposed to put them in swaddling clothing and rock them to sleep with a bottle. That's what we do with narco terrorists here in this country. We love narco terrorists. But my favorite of all came from Democrat Representative Jim Himes, who described the people killed in the drug boat second strike as this. Two terrified guys clinging to a rescue ship. That's all they were. They were just innocent, terrified guys. They were so scared. They were so scared. And because they're not Pablo Escobar, that means we should let them go. These people are a joke. By the way, we just found out today that we vaporized our 22nd Venezuelan drug boat while Democrats go on TV and throw a temper tantrum. So 22 in the bag. We're going to get a high score before too long. Tom's in Pell City. Tom, what's up? Do a thing. What do you mean? Yeah, he's been we brought him in as kind of a fill in for now because that's I mean we're constrained where they only give us like so many hours and we fought for a year to get him back and so we've got him back in some capacity which is he's do some weekend shows and stuff like that. He's going to actually be running the board for Leland this afternoon, so yeah. Mhm. Oh, they do. They absolutely do. Because I mean, if most of Americans are hooked on drugs, then they don't have to worry about any sort of uprising or the people fighting back. You've got your own set of problems, and also because you're cracked out, you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing. Then you're looking to the government to provide you with everything. It's a perfect situation for them. Yeah, I'm out of time. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you, buddy. Back after this.